guys, this is Planners one more time. For today's episode, I ironed down some stuff about baiting. Baiting is of the utmost importance. Either you are in a fleet or solo, you need to get your enemy to play your game. Before we go to the engagements, some sad facts about Eve. 90% of every kill is a gank. That is, somebody caught some other player and he probably has absolutely no chance to win. But people don't really care about that, they just want a juicy kill. And if you are an FC, it is your job and it is your obligation to provide kills to your fleet. People will try to deceive you, either by keeping part of their fleet out of local, or simply by having some specific fitting that you're just not counting on it. Also, I don't really want to get philosophical about this, but there is no such thing as a fair fight. There are fights, there are gangs, there are engagements, call them whatever you want to call them. It is your own perspective. But the sooner you embrace the fact that there is no such thing as fair on Eve, then the sooner this game will not be so frustrating to you. Okay, I don't really wanna seem paranoid about this baiting deal, but the fact is, it's easy to roll with a big fleet through a system that will just scare everybody and everybody will run away. What is hard indeed is to deceive them, trick them, and then overpower them. Okay, so a very typical situation. I was playing scout for my fleet, I jump into K-B from Volmy, and on the in-gate I see a Drake on a drag bubble 100k away. Now, if we all jump in and try to burn to the Drake, it will just warp off. So what I basically did was I went to D87, I saw the bubble that he was on was aligned to D87, and warped back to the Volgate, hoping that I would land on his bubble. Something did not went right as expected. The bubble was probably misaligned because I landed on the gate instead of on a bubble. So this was basically a lost opportunity. It would have been awesome to land on his bubble and tackle him on the bubble, but I actually saw the Drake warped the 87 and I decided to follow him. At this point I actually think that the Drake is baiting me to go the 87. So okay, he's on the gate and I do not want to aggress him inside K-B. Reason is simple: if I aggress a Drake and local spikes from Volmy on the opposite side of the system, he will just jump to Blackbird, jam me, and warp off, by the way. This is actually one of those rare situations where you actually do not want to split your foes. You want them to be all packed up together in the same system so that they do not have eyes some other place. In this case, I do not want them to have eyes in K-B. Okay, right now I jumped the 87 and I told my fleet to warp to my gate. I'm holding my cloak as much as possible, but unfortunately the Blackbird jumped back the 87. Hopefully my fleet is already landing and they will be able to kill them. Inside the 87, on my side of the gate, I aggressed Drake and tried to force him out. Beyond this point there's really not much more to it. My fleet on the other side of the gate managed to catch both the ships and kill them with absolutely no worries. Again, the concept here is to try catch your foes and overpower them. Many people don't like that, but it's an important way to provide heals. In the next footage we employed the same tactic, and we had noticed a Hurricane, a Saber and an Ishkur running around trying to get an easy kill. Now, if we show ourselves, and you can see our fleet composition up there in the watch list. If we show ourselves, I have absolutely no doubt that they will run away. Now, the hard part is to surprise them. Okay, so I land on their gates with my shield brutics, and again, I do not want them split up. I want them all tied together in the same system where they do not have eyes involve me. I want them to jump HLW. So, okay, I jump, I hold my cloak, and at this time I am calling out my fleet to come to my gate. Right now these fellas are completely unaware of my backup, as far as I know, of course, and they probably think that I'm just afraid to decloak. Sigma informs me that they are on the other side of the gate, so I just decide to decloak and go for the Hurricane. Actually, when my two corp mates jump into local, we had decided that they would go for the Saber. Sigma on the Fleet Stabber and Fresh Meat in the Thorax are good ships against small tackle, and I would just hold the Hurricane pinned down while my own logistics would also keep me wrapped. So once we got them aggressed, was pretty easy and straightforward going, but we needed to bait them properly. If we had shown ourselves, they would have just run away, we would have lost 2 kills. Baiting, 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 baiting. If you don't develop baiting skills, you will just see your foes run away most of the time. Another tactic we use a lot is to pretend to be solo with a solo plausible ship. This case the Vexer. So I went to a Kerberos system. I warped around a couple times, I warp station, and I saw them from up. You can see the Sleipnir on scan, and hopefully the Sleipnir will be arriving soon. Now, I'm also making range from the gate. My fleet is on the other side of the gate. My fleet is inside S-5, and I don't want them to get eyes inside S-5. I want them to focus on me and not on what might be on the other side of the gate. The Sleipnir was actually, well, careful not to warp 0 on the gate. He's assessing the situation, but once he lands on grid, he starts to burn directly at me, and well, okay, this is our chance. I keep checking close range scanner. I don't really want to get ganked by 30 guys in local, but if they have 30 in local, they probably have 6 or 7 active. Okay, Sleipnir is aggressing. I need to get a scram on him. Okay, that's it. On a normal situation, I would wait for this to escalate a bit more, but a Sleipnir is a Sleipnir. It's already a very good catch, so really no need to delay this anymore. I call in the fleet, and pretty much the baiting move was just to bring something they think they could easily kill. Also, you need to have some distance from the gate where your fleet is at in order to avoid your foes to jump through and check what's on the other side, or just to try to catch you on the other side. Make them focus on you and not on the next system. In the next situation, I'm trying to employ the same tactic, but you will notice that the environment is considerably different. These guys only have 2 in local, instead of having 40. When people have 40 in local, they feel much bolder. They go to the gates, they bring expensive stuff, etc, etc. In a scenario where you only have like 2, 3, 5 guys, they will not chase you to the gates, most probably, and they will probably also hug the stations and try to snipe you. Okay, there we go. There is nothing much I can do at this distance. I just wanted to confirm if they were really in sniping stuff, and they are, at least the Naga is, and the Ishtar seems to have like guards. So my option here was to warp to a nearby belt and immediately return to the station at 0. Now, the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't really have any other options. Of course, I have the word bait written all over my face using this tactic this way, but hey, nothing to lose. Okay, and they have aggressed. You can see the guards that are from the Ishtar aggressing me, and you can also see the Naga trying to shoot me. Tracking Disruptor on the Naga, of course, and my priority right now is just to orbit the Ishtar and try to orbit those nasty guards as close as possible. Tank the damage, overload my Hardener, tracking Disrupt the Naga, and hope for the best. You will also notice that the Ishtar did not deaggress, and this will be his undoing. The Naga manages to warp off as soon as my friends land on grid, but the Ishtar just takes too long to deaggress. Maybe if he had deaggressed as soon as local spiked with my fleet, then maybe he would have survived. Unfortunately, baiting also has some, let's call it, unwanted side effects. In this particular case, I'm employing the same tactic, trying to get people to come to our gate. They did not went to the gate, so I just decided to engage near the station. This was indeed a Shield Myrmidon. I did not saw this coming, and this is very bad because Shield Myrmidons have extreme high DPS. Also, my backup is coming from 70 AU away. So yeah, it is going to take a while for them to arrive. Also, you will notice that I am not overloading my guns. Usually when I play tank bait, and this is actually my main role here, overloading guns is not one of my priorities. Unfortunately, if I had done it, I would maybe have won this battle. Nevertheless, my fleet was able to catch that Myrmidon. They avenged me. The second Myrmidon that you are seeing there is at the end dock. It never aggressed, so well, could not kill him. But yes, it is very important that you know how long you can resist before your backup comes. Sometimes goes wrong. So okay, I've already shown you a couple of tactics, and I have still not addressed the ship I'm flying. I've already told you it should be a solo plausible ship, and you will realize that I've been using especially ships with scramblers and webs even if possible. Reason is very simple. When I get a target, I want to ensure that when my fleet warps to me, they will land on their optimals and they will land within wrapping range. If I were to use a kiting ship for this kind of baiting, there's a good chance that when my fleet landed, I would be 100 kilometers away from them. I don't really want that to happen. Okay, nevertheless, as you can see, I'm on another system. This time we actually came through a wormhole. There is a wormhole in this system and my fleet is just waiting on the other side. As you can see, these guys are all rounding up lots of stuff to kill my solo Mauler. This is actually a Mauler, a dual-plated Mauler. Very heavy tackle. Squam, Web, and Nosferatu on the highs. I actually took off one of the guns. My role is to catch people, and I must ensure I do not get neutered. The DPS rule belongs to my fleet. So okay, basically what I'm doing here is just warping around and see what they form up. And this is very important. I want to be able to catch something juicy. I do not want to be caught myself by their own tackle. If I'm caught by a stiletto, the enemy fleet can pretty much kill me at range. And if I'm on a nasty situation and I call my backup, they see local filling up, everybody will probably just run away. So I must ensure that I get something juicy tackled. I would love to get my hands on the Raven, I would love to get my hands on a Tornado, but at the same time I get to avoid being caught myself by something like a Slasher. Trust me, that is harder than it seems when you're dual-plated Mauler. This particular case actually took some time because whenever I land in some place they would chase me with some small ship and I had to just keep warping around. On the other hand, they probably think that I'm scared right now, and hopefully they will make some sort of mistake. I walk back to the gate. The Raven that was at 0 right now, it's 70 away, probably already one of those new cruise Ravens. So yeah, and sniping Tornado also, yeah, nothing juicy here so that I can catch. I need to bile. Yeah, and Stiletto is just behind me, so I need to keep moving. Next gate, Rupture, Slasher. Yeah, I also don't want anything to have with these guys, at least right now. Let's keep moving. Okay, Caracal, Rupture, Slasher. This is getting annoying. I am moving around trying to catch something expensive. At the same time, everybody in their fleet is also warping around like crazy to every spot because they don't know where I am or they don't know where I'm going, and it's probably a big confusion on their comms. So I decided just to stop with this. I decided to just go to a spot, stay there, standing still, let them come. We'll see what develops. The only factor that really matters to me now is how far away I am from the wormhole. Okay, more or less 5 IU, it's good. So, hey, bring it on! Actually, I'm gonna use fleet comms from this point onwards, and I will just use the comment box up there on the right if needed. Rifter is coming for me. Stiletto. I'm gonna grass this Rifter, fuck him. Slasher.
Just kill most of their light tackle while the other big stuff's in war.
Tornado, goddamn. 30 away, 27 away, and I'm scrammed. And the Blackbird too. Okay, jump, warp to me. Jump. Yeah, I'm jammed, scrammed. They'll probably all bail. Goddamn. Everybody jump, warp to me. I'll try to catch something. Yeah, but I'm jammed by the Blackbird. I'm gonna need overloaded reps right the first cycle.
Roger.
Goddamn, they got too many active. Still thinking like a boss. When you land, grab whatever you can, basically. Go for the expensive step.
Yep.
I have the Rupture, but go for something expensive. Almost. Somebody needs to call primaries. Cracks Tornado, somebody get him.
Going for him.
Cracks Tornado primary.
Strand, tornado strand.
Dirty, call it.
Caracal will be secondary after this tornado goes down.
Yeah, well, once I actually saw the recording, I realized that I had frozen too much, being worried about me surviving on my own ship instead of calling targets from the start. I should have just called the tornado from the start. Actually, it seems like me dying and getting into my pod was a good deal. I snapped out of whatever my frozen state was, and this is interesting because sometimes you only realize this kind of details once you go see it again. Once I died, Dirty Sanchez took over the fleet and he became the FC. And something wonderful happened. Those guys actually decided to fight. So basically, I just switched to my other tune, got onto a armor ship, namely my Armor Towers, and tried to join them as fast as I could. Since I died, the fight took more or less like 10 minutes, and this is really a lot of time for small game PvP. Usually fights last a couple minutes, even if that much, and finding a engagement that lasts 10 minutes, it's quite rare. Um, Fortunately, those guys were not very well organized, so they could not really take us on easily. They were ready to catch a mauler, but not a fleet with the ship composition that you can see up there in the watch list. So they actually went to station and reshipped and came back and died again. Uh, their problem here was actually not ship types, was not the numbers, it was organization. But that will be a subject for another episode, and I hope you guys develop a taste for baiting. It is extremely funny, it is very important. You can get out some interesting fights out of it, and just remember to insure your ship. And of course, even more important, upgrade your clone. Okay, this is all. I hope you guys enjoyed. I see you next time.